Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and VC legend Ron Conway, Forward.us is on a mission to mobilize the tech community in a bid for comprehensive immigration reform. Let's talk to that organization ahead of tonight's debate. Todd Schulte is president of Forward.us, and he joins us this morning. Todd, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
The tech industry has been notoriously vocal on policy issues, more so than on other industries, or at least before other industries. What issues are front and center for you and for Forward going into tonight's debate?
Well, at Forward, we are focused right now solely on immigration reform, and we have three things we're looking for. First and foremost, we believe immigration reform should fix our broken legal immigration system so it makes sense for the tech community, but also for other industries like manufacturing. Second, we should have sensible border solutions. And the third is we believe there should be a pathway to citizenship for the 11 million undocumented immigrants in this country.
I mean, it's the GOP debate, Todd. I wonder how you dovetail in that. I mean, the breakthrough candidate is obviously Donald Trump. The reason that he broke through is because he started saying some things about immigration that many people clearly felt, and it struck a chord with them, and they felt they hadn't had an outlet for that before, and there's a huge emotional response. And you see now Donald Trump rising high in the polls because of that and because of other reasons, and now obviously Carson is challenging him. I mean, how do you pull this back from your perspective? How do you avoid just occupying some kind of intellectual high ground somewhere of little relevance to this debate?
So you raise a great point, and while I do like occupying an intellectual high ground, the fact is, like, politically, any candidate who does not firmly reject mass deportation is not going to be successful at the end of the day. And whether that is in a Republican primary or certainly in a general election, just look at the state of Colorado, for example. In the last 12 years, you've seen the Asian American population, in terms of voters, go up 2.5 times. The Latino population has doubled here. The idea that we are going to elect someone as president who supports rounding up 12 million people, that's not going to happen.
Let me put it around the other way. You're suggesting that the illegal immigrants in this country, 11, 12 million of them, however they are, be granted some sort of citizenship. Doesn't that cut right to the heart of the GOP in Republican-controlled areas who are terrified that these illegal immigrants will get the vote and they'll vote Democrat? Isn't that one of the major schisms that runs through this country and the whole debate at the moment?
I think it's really important to understand the sorts of constituencies we're talking about. Look, obviously there's a number of things that these candidates have tapped into, and part of it is, yeah, this may help you get 25–30% of a Republican primary electorate here. But let's just talk about what's in immigration reform for undocumented immigrants. If we're successful in passing a bill, say 3–4 years from now, you're looking at people having permanent legal status in like 2030, 2032 here. So the idea that this is proposed as, oh, this is amnesty, that sounds good and it goes great in a TV ad. It couldn't be farther from the truth, though, in terms of the actual policy, and that's really important.
But Todd, are you reshaping at all your messaging around immigration, given what you're seeing happening in the lead up to the Republican primaries? Or are you just going to say, hey, that segment of the electorate that feels so strongly against the position that we've taken and the way that we've articulated in the past, we're just willing to count them out? And if you're changing it, how are you changing it?
So we're definitely not counting anybody out. I want to be clear on that. And we have changed our message. Again, there's this really interesting and absurd and awful thing, but an interesting thing right now, which is for the first time you have somebody who is embracing this mass deportation agenda here. And it's up to us, and how we frame this is the astronomical cost of rounding up, 12 million people, or you can pass immigration reform, which adds $1 trillion to the economy. That's a huge boon to these families as well. So yeah, we definitely are. We are definitely talking about this in a different way, and it's really important that people understand here this isn't just good policy in the abstract. This is good policy versus the astronomical cost of what's being proposed. So we're very adaptive to that.
Well, no doubt tonight's conversation will also include the sharing economy, small business creation, tax treatment as well, all important issues for Silicon Valley, but of course immigration, Todd, at the top of the list. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much. Excited to see you all tonight on the debate.
Todd Schulte from Forward.us. Coverage of CNBC's Republican debate starts at 5.